The papers scattered across the mahogany table looked like a death warrant. Clara's eyes frantically scanned the financial jargon. Words like offshore accounts, insider trading, and shell companies jumped out at her. Julian didn't flinch. He stood perfectly still, his eyes locked onto Arthur Sterling. The silence in the penthouse was suffocating, broken only by the hum of the London traffic far below. "Arthur," Julian said, his voice dangerously calm. "You throw words like police in my home, you better have a damn good reason." "That folder contains proof of corporate espionage, Julian," Arthur boomed, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and betrayal. "Someone inside Vance Global has been leaking the Sterling Group's private valuation numbers to our competitors. It almost ruined our stock price last month. I hired a private forensic accountant. The digital trail leads straight to a dummy account registered under one name." Arthur paused, his sharp blue eyes slowly shifting from Julian to Clara. "The account belongs to you, Clara," Arthur said softly, his disappointment heavy in the air. Clara felt the world spin. Her knees went weak, and she had to grip the back of the sofa to stay upright. "What? No, that's impossible. I don't even know what those accounts are." "Save it, young lady," Arthur snapped. "The IP addresses used to transfer the leaked data match your personal laptop and your login credentials at Vance Global. I wanted to believe you were the woman who tamed Julian, but it looks like you're just a spy who used his affection to get close to my company." "Julian, please, you have to believe me," Clara cried out, turning to him, her eyes filling with tears of pure terror. "I would never do this. I don't care about corporate secrets. I only wanted to save my mother." Julian didn't look at her. He walked over to the table, picked up the documents, and began flipping through them. His face was a mask of cold stone. The warm, protective man from just a few minutes ago had vanished, replaced by the ruthless CEO. "Julian," Clara whispered, her heart breaking at his silence. "Arthur," Julian finally spoke, his voice dropping to an icy, authoritative register. "Leave the documents with me. Give me until tomorrow morning." "Tomorrow morning?" Arthur scoffed. "Julian, she betrayed you too. She exposed your company to a massive federal investigation." "I am aware," Julian hissed, his gray eyes flashing with a sudden, terrifying fury that made even Arthur take a step back. "But Vance Global is my empire. If there is a traitor in my ranks, I deal with them myself. You will have your answer at 9 o'clock tomorrow, not a minute sooner." Arthur stared at Julian for a long moment, then slowly nodded. "Fine. 12 hours, Julian. If you don't hand her over to the authorities by then, I will call them myself. The merger is officially dead." The old man turned and walked back into the elevator. The heavy metal doors slid shut, leaving Clara and Julian alone in the suffocating silence of the penthouse. Clara took a shaky step toward him. "Julian, I swear on my mother's life I didn't do this. Someone is setting me up." Julian slowly turned his head to look at her. The gray depths of his eyes were empty, devoid of any warmth, any passion, or any of the heat they had shared moments before. "Your laptop, Clara," Julian commanded coldly. "Get it. Now." Clara ran to the master bedroom, her hands shaking so badly she could barely pick up her laptop bag. She brought it back to the living room and placed it on the desk. Julian sat down, his long fingers flying across the keyboard as he accessed Vance Global's secure network and bypassed the firewalls. For 30 minutes, the only sound was the clicking of keys. Clara stood a few feet away, holding her breath, praying he would find the truth. Finally, Julian stopped typing. He leaned back in his chair, staring at the screen. "Did you find it?" Clara asked, hope rising in her chest. "Can you see it wasn't me?" Julian looked up at her, and the look in his eyes made her blood run cold. It wasn't anger. It was a profound, agonizing disappointment. "The digital signature is yours, Clara," Julian said softly, his voice cracking slightly. "The files were downloaded from your account last Tuesday at 11:42 p.m., the exact time you were working late in my office, alone." Clara shook her head, tears spilling over her cheeks. No, Julian, think about it. Why would I do that? You already gave me the money for my mother. I had no reason to steal from you." "Maybe the competition offered you more," Julian said, standing up, his shadow looming over her. "Maybe the sweet, innocent assistant routine was just a lie from the very beginning." "You don't believe that," Clara begged, stepping closer, reaching out to touch his arm. "Look at me, Julian. You know me." Julian violently pulled his arm away, refusing her touch. "I don't know anyone, Clara. That was my first mistake. I let my guard down. I let you in. I broke my own rules for you." He slammed his fist onto the desk, making the laptop rattle. "I saved your mother, and you destroyed my company." "I didn't do it," Clara screamed back, her anger finally bursting through her fear. "If you won't even look for the real traitor because you're too busy hiding behind your pathetic walls of ice, then you're a coward, Julian Vance." Julian's jaw clenched so hard a vein throbbed in his temple. He walked over to the penthouse door and opened it wide, pointing out into the cold London night. "Get out," Julian whispered, his voice dangerously low. "Julian, please. Get out of my sight, Clara, before I change my mind and call the police myself." Clara looked at him one last time, her heart completely shattered into 1,000 pieces. She took off the massive emerald-cut diamond ring, placed it silently on the console table by the door, and walked out into the rain, leaving the billionaire alone in his dark, empty empire.